Deacon.
All the answers you need to know. Watch now, the Internet Dad Show. Subscribe quick, join in the fun. Deep State's Grid Monster on the run.
I don't know if there was audio out or not. I don't know if the... Oh, it was? Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Jason. That is Deacon. And we are your Internet Dads. We meet here Monday through Friday. Whatever. On rumble.com/Internet Dads. And we talk about stuff. That stuff could be politics. It could be news. It could be like the philosophical underpinnings of enslaving bioengineered organoids.
What the hell are you talking about?
You know, just general stuff.
You're going to run people off. Hello.
God. Why is for some reason, I bet it's this. I bet it's my computer audio has defaulted to speakers because. All right. Can I hear you now?
I don't know.
Oh, great. That's better. Okay. All right. It was bothering me. So, good morning, Deacon. I want to say the title of today's show might not be in the feeds, but it is Women Are Women Wednesday. So congratulations to women. The United Kingdom has ruled that you are, in fact, women. So
it's
a big win.
Glad. That is a big win.
It's a big win.
Hey, I've seen something. I don't think I shared it in the Discord. This is completely off topic, but you said England. I think Trump is fixing to win the hearts and minds of the British people. How is he going to do that, Deacon? I'm glad.
Yeah, how is it? Please tell me.
So, rumor is that the Trump administration will demand that Keir Starmer, let's look up who that is. K-E-I-R.
He's the current prime minister of the United Kingdom.
Okay.
He's of the Labour Party. So
I didn't know that.
In UK politics, the Conservatives are the Republicans and the Labour Party are the Democrats. Except it's not exactly the same, but roughly.
Well, the rumor is that Trump admin will demand that he revoke the hate speech laws in exchange for a trade deal. And if that happens, Britons are going to be shouting his name.
They'll be able to post on Facebook.
They'll be able to post all of these crazy stories that you get of these people. I heard one the other day of some dude that had the cops come in and whatnot over there because of a meme that he had posted 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And he got prison, he got jail time for it.
Yeah. There's no free speech in the United Kingdom. Really.
Crazy.
There's no.
Crazy.
That's wild, man.
Ryan says, I was surprised to see so many Brits at this year's CPAC.
Ryan goes to CPAC, or did he just watch the CPAC?
I guess he watched it, probably.
Well, we got. I don't really have any opinion of it. We have obviously got international allies and international opposition. Like there's. People on the right here have some moral, philosophical, fundamental, maybe economical alignment with people in other countries, so they support each other. So, and the United Kingdom is one of our longest and best allies, except for when they owned us.
Except for when they fought us and tried to take over our country about 200 years ago. But they're the longest.
I mean, look. We don't need to hold a grudge forever.
Except if it's Germany, and then you can hold a grudge forever, right?
No, I don't feel like it's holding a grudge so much as just holding jokes. Like just you guys with your
that's true. That's true.
With your genocide.
the ridicule is still okay to do, I guess, but
just watched it. One lady said they want their own Trump too. Man, wouldn't it be cool if every country had a Trump? Not a clone of Trump, but someone who put the interests of their country ahead of the
and
See,
stick them in
I
every
think it's
country.
I think we're talking politics. It's okay. Nobody's on Facebook.
Okay, talk
I
about
think it's fine. I think it's okay that Donald Trump's basic fundamental position is America first. Everybody else is a secondary consideration. And I think that one of the reasons why leftists, Democrats, whatever, like viscerally react to that is because they misunderstand that as like Americans are better than everybody else in the world and, whatever. That's not what it is. Every country should be that country first. If you live in Zimbabwe, your government, your people, your leadership should be like, our considerations are Zimbabwe first,
and
everybody
then
else
everybody
second.
else.
And if every country in the world did that and did that at face value, like the whole world would be better, because it'd be like, yeah, we understand that you're working for your interests. We're working for our interests. Let's make a deal. You can't do that if your global leadership is pretending like, oh, we're all humans, we're all members of the global world, whatever. They're gonna sell you out.
Is there a Canadian Trump, Pierre, a Pierre guy?
That dude is hilarious. We've watched clips of him here on the show. That's the guy that ate the apple and it was taking questions from the thing. And he was like, why are you even saying that? What's your point? Do you have any evidence of that?
Yeah, I like
he made the journalist look like an absolute retard. That guy's awesome. But for all the awesome he is, he did not win the prime ministership of Canada. Canadians didn't vote for him to be the prime minister. So I think he's awesome. But Canada, he's the conservative guy. When Trudeau stepped down, they Javier Milei in Argentina, he's cool. When Trudeau stepped down, there was an opportunity for Pierre to, run to be the prime minister, but Canadians decided to go the, worst way, I guess.
Well, sometimes sometimes when your parents tell you don't touch the stove because you're going to get burned, and you've never touched the stove before and you've never gotten burned,
right?
You've got to get burned in order to know what burned feels like. So sometimes you got to touch the stove, man. And sometimes some people just have to learn the hard way. That's just some people. And I'm not even going to say some people. Let me use that word. Most people have to learn the hard way.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I have to learn the hard way, but just because the stove burns you once doesn't mean it's always burning you. So you might have to test it a couple more times. Sometimes it's off.
I'm just saying there's more than one way to test the stove and handle it. And most people don't realize that. Most people are like, Yeah.
The
definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So,
I have some. Before we talk about any news stories today, I just want to. I'm looking for this because it's important. But I want to inform you of something. Let's see if it was here. Yesterday, I got a copyright claim on yesterday's episode. Yeah, that's right. Let's see if it's in. I'm checking my email to see where the link is. So, let's see. Is it here? I don't know how to find it again. That's the problem. Like, because what they do is, for those of you. They sent me like a notice, but it came in on my phone, and I don't know how to pull it up again. So I got a copyright strike on yesterday's episode. Yesterday's episode was TLDR Tuesday, I think, and it was you, me, and Dave, and the copyright claim said that at 37 minutes, from 37 minutes and like 56 seconds up until like 38 minutes and 20 seconds, that we violated the copyright of some company. Oh, maybe if I use the word copyright, maybe that'll get us there. Yeah, I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up yesterday's episode and go to that time frame. Ooh, and then you tell me what you think about. Now, it was on Facebook, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to look up a video on Facebook.
I would freaking. That's pointless. The Facebook thing is pointless. We have
Yeah,
tried
it is.
before. We can't say anything on there without them jerking us down.
Yeah,
So it's pointless to go up on Facebook.
you are correct. All right, so
I'm
here
surprised
is.
YouTube has been so nice to us lately because they don't like us either.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they don't. Okay, so we're what you're about to see, Deke, is you and me watching yesterday's episode on Rumble at about 37 minutes. Now, I'm gonna remind you, the claim came in that at 37 minutes and 56 seconds, we violated their copyright for like 20 or 30 seconds.
Okay.
So, I think let me scoot it up a little bit because I want to get right at that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, here it comes.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, we violated their copyright. They said. I said bullshit. So here it is. Boom. It is when I dropped an advertisement for your book in our show.
Have you read them? Are they good?
I'm 2 in, yeah.
Are you serious?
I don't care if it's
yeah,
a 30-minute book. I'm a
started.
slow reader.
They're not. They're copyrighted to me.
Yeah.
Read.
They don't take.
I think the Caretaker is like 5 or 6, 7 little chapters.
All right, so this section
I
right
literally
here.
am the
That's it.
copyright owner
Yeah.
of everything we're talking about there. I
Yeah.
own that. Those 3
So-
books are mine.
You struck me. You struck my channel.
Son of a
on
bitch. You
Facebook.
ever give me a free ad again, and I will own your car.
I was just like, what do you yeah. So I
Further
don't so I
proof
was
on why
is
we
it
should
possible?
not be on Facebook?
Well,
I
don't
like
worry,
to do
I
my
don't-
little live things on Facebook
So-
with my friends in the morning
Here's-
sometimes when I'm not feeling like crap.
Yeah.
But,
Do you ever get claimed against yourself?
yes.
Oh,
No,
do you
not,
really?
not against myself, but every once in a while I'll have the I'll have music playing in the background of the Facebook and it'll
Hold on.
shut me down.
Before you say anything, all right, I'm ready, Dave. Go ahead. Good morning,
Say-
Dave. No,
Oh,
no
can't hear
sound,
him.
Dave.
No sound. No, I can't hear you at all.
You know, it's the Galvatron gag isn't funny if you don't sound like Galvatron. I'm ready to go. Finger on the trigger.
Bye.
Oh,
Can you-
it's just normal Dave today.
Normal Dave.
No offense. We really, really like you, but we
Yeah,
like you
I
more.
just love to do the Galvatron gag.
Can you ever get one of those little your throat things and
I have
Oh,
access to some.
okay.
What do you want me to sound like?
Galvatron?
I don't know if I have access to Galvatron. I might have access to other things.
It's not funny to make fun of people that are suffering like that. It's not cool.
No,
I
yeah,
apologize.
and
sorry.
there was people that were making fun of RFK for the way that he sounds, and I understand. I'm one of these people that I one of my pet peeves in life is slow readers. You know, when you'll be like, Timmy, will you read section 1? Who was the winner? And I know I don't want to be an asshole, but that's one of my things that I'm just like, oh my God,
Right.
kill me now. You know,
I'm a slow reader.
I'm not.
Let's see.
I'm a very fast reader and it drives me crazy. So
I go through my text so many times before I get up on Sunday. Ah,
like,
why
like
did
go
everybody
over-
So-
just go black? Yeah, why did somebody just share a screen?
no.
Oh, I
don't know what is
unshared it.
going on.
I stopped sharing. So you just missed it. Deacon Copyright struck our episode yesterday somehow.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Facebook sent him a copyright strike on our episode yesterday at the 30 whatever minute mark, and we go to the 30
Mhm.
whatever minute mark, and it's when we're talking about my books, and he throws it up on the screen, and I'm literally the copyright owner. So thanks
Uh-huh.
Facebook,
So
for looking out for
You
me.
can actually. So we occasionally have this happen in Facebook, where the algorithm will accuse us of playing some song.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
no, we didn't even, no, that's not that
Right.
song at all in any way, shape, or form. And the individuals who are performing don't sound like that individual in any way, shape, or form. What are you talking about? So we get reprimanded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fake,
on the
is
regular.
it fake claims? Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
wrote them
algorithm
back and I was
claims.
like, your claim is bogus. I own all the content on the show, not your content. And I was like, the book is written by my co-host, and even the music I have a license for. So
Yeah, there's nothing on here
Eat
that
it.
is that we.
eat
I
it.
have. What the crap was that? Oh, I guess I've worked in radio for 30 years next month, and I know about. I've had to get on to clients before. There was a client in Paducah that was a little pop-up jewelry store called the Brass Monkey, and they sold. And they wanted to use that song.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course you want to use that song. That would be great. That is copyright infringement. I am using the Beastie Boys owned material to promote your business. That's straight up getting sued. And that the woman got mad at me. So what I had to do was I had to clip the song to where it was like, Brass Monkey, and then I went into a similar sounding bed with some horns, but I just used like 4 seconds of it that I knew I wouldn't get in trouble for. So there's copyright when you get in. There was a radio station in Reno, a morning show in Reno, and in like the early 2000s that was using. Do y'all remember the Jock Jam CD that had Michael Buffett at the beginning? Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah. So they were using that on the air. Michael Buffer owns that. He sued them and won. The radio station had to pay money to him for using that, and they didn't have the right to use that. So it gets crazy when you get into copyright crap.
We usually post something along the lines of, like, we don't own the copyright to this. We're using this through fair use. Our channel's not monetized or anything like that. So
I know the feeling.
dude, we'll get like 400 views throughout the week on the church channel, and I'm like, what is this? This is a church of 70. This is a church of 70.
I had
400 views.
I had to write in my disclaimer for my D&D type books. I had to come up, and AI is the one when I was asking it, hey, what else does this need? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, is there anything in here copyright? And they were like, why don't you do this? So I typed this up. It says, any terms used within such as stealth check, persuasion roll, and similar references to role-playing game mechanics are used in a generic sense and do not reference any specific game system. Likewise, all characters, creatures, and settings presented in this book are original creations of the author. Any resemblance to existing intellectual properties is purely coincidental and are used under fair use principles. So I have tried to cover my ass on like stealth check, persuasion check.
Yeah.
You know, I had to change the race of one of the guys. One of my guys, one of my buddies, Matthew, always played this Filborg. Filbog. You know, they're like those big giant there's like a half giant little, you'll have to look it up. It's an old Scottish mythological creature, but D&D's changed it around. I had to change that. I had to change a couple of things in these books and add that because I uploaded them to Amazon, and Amazon, after they reviewed them, they just blocked the book. And they didn't give me a reason. Yeah, they
didn't even give you like a chance to.
Didn't even give me a chance to do anything. They just blocked it.
They weren't just like, hey, you need to make a couple of changes here.
So
they were like,
that's when I uploaded the book, that specific book. I uploaded it to ChatGPT, and I was like, what in here could be classified as copyright infringement? And it started listing 2 or 3 things, and I was like, okay, well, let's change these. Like there's certain spells. There's certain spells in D&D. There's one called Zone of Truth is a spell that you cast it and it creates a zone of truth. Well, I wrote a whole story about that, and I called the story Zone of Truth. Well, I changed it to Truth Zone. I've changed the wording of certain things all through these books because I don't want to be
right.
even the.
Do you have a whip of honesty, or instead of a lasso of truth?
I've done that. Like there was there's one.
Let's go to the dollar store and figure out what the alternatives are.
Dollar store D&D. Dollar store D&D. You can afford this rope with your gold. It's only 1 silver, but it's also only 10 feet long. Buy a bunch of them to be useful.
Instead of 3 strands, it's 2 strands. Yeah, it breaks a little easier, but
I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny.
He's blowing smoke. He's a dragon with a train.
The train going by. I can't hear anything.
I'm still having audio issues. I don't know what's going on. I'm all updated on everything. Well, no, you all keep sounding weird to me.
Well, you're on a Mac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else is in the news?
I said, our buddy Joey is a big Apple user.
Yeah. Oh, really? Is he?
We argue over Apple and Android all the time, and I found one yesterday. Yeah. It says I sent this to him. It says I use an Android because Adam and Eve had an Apple and that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have speculated my original sin theory to you all, right? The Mark of the Beast and all this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is like one of my favorite things. Original sin is usually represented by an apple, right?
Sure.
And if you have an Apple phone, which I'm an Android guy, but on the back of the Apple phone, you have an apple with a bite taken out of it. Symbolic. All right, so move forward all the way to Revelation now, and you've got the Mark of the Beast will be on the forehead and sometimes hand, just depending on how people read it.
Mm-hmm.
Put your phone up to your head, and my golly, you've got the original sin right on your head and your hand. And people use their phones for everything now. They pay with their phone. That's it, man. The Mark of the Beast is the Apple iPhone.
I've thought about it before, but I usually am just like, I don't know if that's because in Revelation it's like they're gonna be you can't buy anything unless you have the mark and
the iPhone.
Yeah.
Apple Pay.
I don't know. You think that's
Apple Pay?
China.
The thing is, the bite out of the apple makes sense because there's no way they could trademark an icon of a regular apple. But if it's got some sort of a signature deformity, a bite taken out of it, now they can trademark it, and it is one of the most.
The Beatles Apple logo had a bite taken out of it. Did it not?
Yes, it did. So. Yeah, and
what are you saying?
No, the Beatles rabbit hole is a deep, deep, deep one that you don't even want to stick your freaking toe into. Okay, because once you get to the walrus was Paul and Fall and the fake Paul and all that crap, it'll blow your mind. But you're not one of those people that's going to do that.
And Aleister Crowley's in the. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Look at the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band photo album cover and look at, and if you know who all those people are in there, it'll blow your mind. But most of the people don't know who they are. So I'm going to say this, JJ, and I know you won't look it up because you think it's silly, but like he was saying with the apple and whatnot, if you ever delve down the realm of symbolism in society and how symbolism has gone through the centuries, and we still have it very prevalent today, we just are blind to it. Once you look at how much symbolism, ancient symbolism and pagan and all kinds of different symbolism is in our society today that we look at every day, it would really blow you away. But there are people that are like, oh, man tries to invent things, on their own and blah, blah, blah and whatnot. Well, okay, right. But there is a lot of symbolism in our society. You just get into the whole Washington, D.C. thing. And how it's set up. I mean, that one's kind of like, what? Wait a minute.
Anything by Dan Brown will teach you all about symbolism. Now, Dan Brown, I think, is a nut job.
Yeah,
author
I
of
do
Da
too.
Vinci Code. He's a horrible storyteller. He's a good storyteller, but he's a horrible writer.
Right, I will agree with that. The
He's a
the
great storyteller,
story
horrible writer.
premises, the premise of his stories were interesting, but I agree with you. I did not like his writing. It was
The boring sentences.
yeah, it was just kind of
Robert Langston's a cool dude, though. That guy's name. He was played by your favorite actor.
Dave's been helping me, JJ, with like he just said. Dave says he writes boring sentences. I've sent Dave a couple of my outline or my short
Raps.
stories. Yeah, and he'll send it back, and I've got all these little, and the one was perfect. It was like,
this is a crap sentence, Steve.
no, it was like, what kind of wind? Was it a soft wind? Was it a hard wind? What kind of wind was it? I like that. I was like, oh, that's great. What kind of wind was it?
So he's
about that.
He's editing. He's giving you edit
He's kinda
like
giving me
notes.
editing on this.
He's giving you
I'll-
notes.
I'm
I gotta-
gonna give him an edit credit.
I have to say, I don't feel like I don't feel like I have the liberty to offer editing advice.
I've used you for other things. Hang on, I got to do this trivia question.
Yeah. So,
So
and I don't know that you want my editing advice.
It's not that I
No.
have editing advice that's worth anything, but I do read with a critical eye. And
Mhm.
when I grad school really made me focus on my writing and the way I write stuff and how I word things. So
Mm.
at least when I'm writing, I try to slow down.
I mean, probably the same, but I like being concise, like saying what you want to say with the fewest or most accurate words is pretty important to me. So I really like. I tend to dwell on
don't-
things like that, like turn it
I
over.
don't
in my
care if
mind
it's a
quite bit.
few words or a lot of words, but they need to mean something.
I'm here.
And so
Mm.
Beak had some sentences over.
Well, I'm glad that you were doing that because, and I'm not asking to. I'm just saying, like, last week, whenever you dropped out for a while, and like right as you did that, you had sent something over, and I was like, the first thing I wanted to say is, "Why is this sinner justified?" But I didn't want to say anything to you, so like, you know what I mean?
Asshole! I want you
enjoyed
to
it.
know. No, I'm pulling this up because I've got it up because I've already been doing it this morning. Asshole! I want you to know. Look, no. These. Let me share my
I'll
screen.
make my screen crash.
That was just the only example I have of like I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't feel like I
Share
could.
my screen because I can't do it.
Oh, hold on. You can be moderated. There you go.
My screen's going to crash after he does it, so you know that's going to happen.
So this is volume 1 that I've been doing.
Yeah.
So I've still got this centered. Okay, this is talking about
Yeah.
it. But
It's
I
like
want you to
prologue.
see
Oh, look at that.
that I fixed it for you. I fixed these
You
damn
excited
books
that?
for you. And I want you to know I spent like 20 minutes yesterday going back through and highlighting this and doing this and going over here and clicking this and going down here and clicking this one and clicking this.
If you
Did that for you
set it
yesterday.
up in tables, you can
I
actually.
know. I could probably, and I
Oh,
thought about that. I was
my
like, you know
screen
what?
just
I
went
could do
black.
this. And I just closed the screen. Damn, what is
So,
doing that to you?
Dave,
I don't know
okay.
what's doing it.
You're using Safari. You're on an Apple.
No, I'm not. I'm using Chrome.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know. Chrome. I don't know. I don't use Chrome either.
I use Chrome. I've got
Yeah,
many tabs
okay.
of Chrome open.
I don't know.
I might have like 20 tabs of Chrome open.
Do you have any plugin extensions turned on? Because they actually will mess things up. I had to turn off LastPass Manager on my corporate browser because I had to switch it to refresh mode because when it loads pages, it messes something up. So I had to switch it to refresh mode where it only loads if I push a button.
I want to
So-
comment on what Ryan said.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't believe it was an apple, Ryan. It's assumed it's an apple. Bible says
Right.
fruit.
I've always heard that too. That it
I
was a
kind of like
fruit.
the idea that it was passion fruit, but I don't think it's a fruit we even know. And there was
I agree.
Did we cover this the other day? I think I posted a story. They think they
Oh, you
figured out,
did?
or some guy thinks he figured out where the Garden of Eden actually
I've
is,
Yeah, I've seen a million of those.
and
where
that
they
it's
think they'll put it
below the Great Pyramid.
Oh no.
Oh, is it underneath the city complex with the elevators or whatever?
No, what he said was, the Bible, Genesis talks about 4 rivers, and we typically assume Tigris and Euphrates are those 4 rivers, even though it's 2, because we've traditionally been told that's the crescent, the Fertile Crescent. That's where all life came from. This guy makes a really solid argument for 4 legit rivers. And
I say that's baloney, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Hold on. The Bible says there was a great flood. All right, and we have scientific evidence that you could interpret as there's evidence that there was a deluge, and there's the if you don't believe in the well, okay, but there's evidence that there's a flood. There's evidence that there was a massive melting, worldwide floods. We have that culturally all over the place. If there was a great flood, at some point in their geological history within the lifespan of mankind, the water levels would rise, and the Bible says it was like how long? 40 days?
40 days and nights. So it was over a year of flooding. Raised water level. The moon pulls the water, the tides. The earth would have been churning water 1,000 feet deep or however deep it was. It would have destroyed anything. I mean, like it would have, there was no riverbed that was there before. It would have, the entire earth would have been reshaped. Stuff moved around, all of that. So you can't be like, oh, so you could where say the rivers were. All the continents were together at one point.
I don't know,
and then maybe flooded and separated. Then
I don't know if it would move tectonic plates, but it definitely would move.
I got no clue.
I've seen a lecture on this by a guy, and he's like, imagine 1,000-foot wall of water. It would move all kinds of earth, probably shove mountains around.
Sure, obviously, we just experienced that.
So you're not going to find rivers from Eden.
Probably not. I don't know. Like I'm not saying I disagree with that at all. But Eden is somewhere in that area, right?
I don't think so. Personally,
you don't think Eden's anywhere in the Middle East?
No.
Area, even in Africa. I'm still putting that in the Middle East.
I mean,
I personally think it is.
There's probably geological coordinates,
it has to be somewhere.
Right. So yeah, but the place that was Eden, like you can't go there and even dig it up and be like, here's the soil that was it's gone. It's gone. It's destroyed.
This is not really on the same subject, but it made me think about it. Have you heard the theory that over in the rainforest in South America, there are plants and stuff that grow over there that are very, very unique and don't grow anywhere else? And they think that one theory is that they think this is the result of gardens from an ancient society that had all these unique plants and stuff like that. And over the however many years, these plants have grown up, and that's why you only find certain things in certain areas. And I'm probably butchering that whole theory, but it was a real interesting one. You were talking about Garden of Eden and the passion fruit and what it was and stuff like that. And
yeah, passion fruit.
Well,
I know. I've always heard that same thing, that it wasn't an apple, that it was.
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't think we can say it wasn't an apple as equal as we can't say it was an apple. It just says fruit, and we don't know what it is. Symbolically, back to the symbols, the apple is the symbol that's there, though.
Right. Yeah, but it's like, okay, it was an apple or passion fruit or some fruit or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Like
dragon fruit.
That's not the point. The point was humans were said, don't do this.
Eat this.
And we were immediately like,
hey,
okay,
but maybe.
I'm going to restart this again.
Okay, so, I'm going to have to go here soon because it's a Wednesday, but there was some stuff that I wanted to talk about with you guys.
Okay. Well,
I started watching yesterday Tucker Carlson's interview with Kurt Weldon, and I highly recommend you watching Tucker Carlson's interview with Congressman Kurt Weldon. This guy's mad. He's mad. Yeah.
What's he mad about? I have no idea. Tell me what's going on.
Kurt Weldon was here. Let me play this. I can't remember it all, and I don't want to butcher it. All right. Former Congressman Kurt Weldon, the same Kurt Weldon who was this is long. Kurt Weldon was, God damn it, you're gonna make me look this up.
No, I'm not. I just said I don't know anything about it.
I can't remember what he was. The House Homeland Security Committee. He was the vice chair of the Armed Services Committee and the House Homeland Security Committee. He was the co-chair of the Duma Congress Study Group. Anyway, he was a very loud voice in Congress that everybody liked until he started asking questions after 9/11. And he was super, super popular up there in Congress. Yeah. And then he started asking some pertinent questions about 9/11, and the FBI raided his daughter's home, didn't find anything, but it completely destroyed like his credibility. He ended up losing the race and all this and whatnot.
He looks mad in this clip right here.
You need to listen to this. It's about, I got about an hour. I'm about 45 minutes in, and I was listening yesterday doing some work.
This is just a short, so I have no idea what he's saying.
On the agency, but there are scumbags that work in our agencies, and I know them, and they're making money. They're $1 million people, and their $1 million companies are going to be exposed if it's the last thing I do. And you'll see the ties around the world to the $1 million intel people who've made money off the backs of young American kids who have died in wars while they make money. And I'll give you example after example of that. In Russia, in Ukraine, around the world, in Libya. That's what's wrong. And until we understand that, it's not going to stop. There are good people in the agency, but there are
Well, he's upset.
Yeah, and I haven't even got to that point yet where he's talking about that, because he starts talking about 9/11 and all the stuff that happened to him, and it's just very interesting. I would highly recommend.
I can't say anything about anything that he's saying, or if he's factually correct or incorrect, or if he is right. But I will say this: when you're that angry, you're not being dishonest. You could be wrong. I don't know what he's saying, but you're not being deceitful about what you're saying. So that kind of anger illuminates at least his authentic feelings on whatever his issue is. Yeah. So
another political one here. Do you guys remember Letitia James? JJ does.
I think so.
Okay, so I'm not going to make Dave's screen go black. I'm going to read to you.
Hey, my screen stayed on this time, JJ.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read to you this tweet that she had on February the 14th of last year. Letitia James at Tish James said, "Roses are red, violets are blue. No one is above the law, even when you think the rules don't apply to you. Happy Valentine's Day." So that was from her last year. This year, just a couple of months past Valentine's Day, she's in trouble.
Oh, what for?
She's either lied on her mortgage application, which is fraud, or she lives in Virginia and therefore can't be the New York AG because she doesn't live in New York.
Well, that's strange.
She also has her husband listed as her father. So, I mean, this is just kind of like
some places.
When you poke the beehive and the bees
Georgia, right?
Virginia, West Virginia.
I don't know. When you poke the beehive and the bees don't automatically like attack you, then they haven't forgot about you sometimes, and they will come back and get you.
Well, I'm sure. Look, she did such a solid for the Democrats. I'm sure that they're going to totally back her up, and
they're going to back her up.
They're not going to hang her out to dry. They're not going to give up on her.
How's Eric Adams doing, by the way?
I don't know.
Well, he's doing okay, actually. Cuomo, I don't know about.
Cuomo. Wasn't he a Democrat that got hung out to dry by the Democrats?
He totally was, but and the Biden administration was like gonna prosecute him, but he was like, yeah, Eric Adams is good. He's only good though because Trump won the election, and the crazy Democrats get pushed out of power temporarily.
Do y'all know Greg Gutfeld?
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't watch Fox, but I mean, I've seen clips of him on the internet. I don't watch.
All right, listen to him here.
To the monologue. This week, Doge perfectly exposed government bureaucracy in a nutshell. While working on the IRS website, Doge noticed the site's login button wasn't in the top right, like most websites. It's a small thing, but Doge noted it was weirdly placed in the middle of the page. So Doge wanted to move it to the right spot. But an IRS engineer said the soonest they could do that was July 21st, over 100 days from now. So what did Doge do? They stepped in and fixed it in 70 minutes. Here's how it looks now. See, there it is. They moved it from the middle to the top. It's a small thing.
Dave can't see anything.
Yeah, but the government would have needed 100 days to do it. To go from there to there. So imagine how long it takes for them to do stuff that actually requires more effort. This is how the government works. Hey, Steve, can we change the website a little? No problem, Joe. I'll have to submit a work order for that, which requires approval from the boss, and then we'll circle back at the monthly meeting for the next round of approvals. Then we'll hire a contract.
And that's perfect example of how everything works.
Yeah.
Did you not see it, Dave? It was just him sitting there.
I didn't see anything at all. Now everybody's screens are black.
Well, piss on a monkey. Sorry.
No, he might throw something at me.
All right. I've not been ready for jokes for a while, but I know that Deke needs to go.
Quasi ready. So I won't be here tomorrow or Friday. I'm camping.
Okay.
Because this weekend is Easter weekend, and I got a lot to do, so I'm not camping this weekend.
Oh. It's also not 4 degrees outside, so
or hailing and softball size hail.
Right. You need to wait for the next weather event, I guess. All right.
Next month is my initiation.
Guys.
Yeah.
I'll start. Why did this man quit his job at a shoe recycling plant?
I don't know.
He lost his soul?
No, it's soul destroying work.
Oh, I was along the same lines there.
You were very close.
JJ, you'll be happy. You might not. You probably are going to be still cringing at this, but I have changed all my passwords to Kenny, Kenny, Kenny. Yeah, I now have all Kenny logins.
Brilliant.
The kids laughed, but they didn't understand.
The kids don't even know who Kenny Loggins is.
I'm more of a Michael Jordan guy than a LeBron James guy, but we'll go with LeBron for this joke.
Okay.
What does the Easter Bunny have in common with LeBron James?
I don't know.
I have
They're
no
both
idea.
good at stuffing baskets.
Well, that's. I don't know.
We'll see y'all
Like,
later.
subscribe.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your dog